Hey Saints, welcome back to another week of SFHS Today. I'm Eli Highland.
And I'm Austin Adler. In national news, last Wednesday there was another school shooting. Wednesday, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida became one of the deadliest school shootings since Sandy Hook. 17 people were killed and 14 others were hospitalized.
In St. Francis area schools, there was an alleged school threat on the same day that erupted into a social media frenzy by Thursday. By Thursday evening, school administration and St. Francis police had thoroughly investigated the incident and determined that it was not a credible threat. Phone calls, emails, and posts were sent to the St. Francis area schools community to let the people know. Even so, the school upped the police presence on Friday, and a number of parents chose not to send their students to school.
2 weeks ago, students had practiced the ALICE protocol, which is to be used in case of an intruder. In the past, emphasis was on code red drills, as they used to be called. This has switched to a focus on a drill known as ALICE. Reporters Zach Gus, Tanner Kuncher, and Cole Kirpak got more information on the latest ALICE drills at the high school and to speak with Assistant Principal Jill Enquist about the alleged threat last week.
So there was an incident of a student making some concerning comments, and thank goodness some of our students reported it to school administration and teachers right away so that we were able to take a deeper look into what actually was said. As with any type of concerning comment like that, we took it very seriously and enlisted the help of local law enforcement so that they could take over the investigation. For this particular incident, it was deemed non-credible. However, we still took appropriate precautions to make sure that all of our students and staff are and will continue to be safe here at St. Francis High School. The other piece of this is the importance of just reporting anything that seems alarming or out of the ordinary, because we do want to be able to look into things, even if a student might think that it's not necessarily a serious threat. We would rather err on the side of being able to look into it and finding out that it's not credible than miss something that would turn out to be a valid threat.
ALICE is a proactive strategy that helps empower students and staff to participate in their survival if confronted by the act of violence.
So the reason that St. Francis High School switched to the ALICE protocol is because in past practice we used to do kind of duck and hide, where students were asked to just go in a corner and just sit and wait. And we didn't feel like that was the best option for our students or staff, because we feel like we could take a more proactive approach and follow your gut. So at this time, we have adopted the ALICE protocol, which is announce, lockdown, inform, counter, and evacuate. And so it gives all of our students, staff, and guests to our school the options of taking any one of those actions in the event that there would be an active shooter in our school.
Here at the St. Francis Police Department, we have our own side of training that coincides with ALICE, and that's why we're here to support that for the safety of our students and staff here at St. Francis High School.
After tragedies like these, many wish they could help. One way you can help is by giving blood. On Valentine's Day, NHS held a large blood drive which can help after situations like this. In fact, the SFHS Blood Drive is one of the biggest drives in the county. We sent Sam Globinski and Jake Hansen to find out what that was all about.
So it's mandatory for every single NHS member to do something for the blood drive, whether it's like set up or take down, but I am just like the checkout person, so after people are done giving blood, I just kind of give them water, snacks, or whatever, and like wrote that they left, so I don't know, it's pretty easy.
My role is to walk around and make sure everybody's doing okay, if they need anything. I smile, I talk to them, and I take the stress away from them.
Why do you feel like you should have to give blood? feel like it's just something nice to do to give back.
NHS will sponsor another blood drive in May. Last week, we announced the St. Francis Area School Board's decision to cut $3.7 million from next year's school budget. We will be doing a continuing series on this as we find out more information. Throughout the past week, Austin has been working to get the information on the topic.
Thanks, Eli. Our interview with Principal Doug Austin had to be rescheduled, and when we spoke with School Board Chair Mike Starr, he did not feel comfortable making a comment on camera and asked that we speak with Superintendent Troy Ferguson. We have an interview scheduled with the next week with the superintendent. Here are some of the things that we found on the district website. They state there it is reduced revenue caused by declining enrollment, increased expenses due to inflation, lack of funding for special education, uncertainty of third-party billing funding, projected reductions in federal funding, limited increases in state funding, and not keeping pace with inflation. Now, these are causes that have been made public on the website and board meetings and a public forum that was held on January 29th. While we were unable to speak with administrators, William Affelter and I were able to get an interview with language arts peer leader Mike Stoffel about some teacher perspective. Here is Will with some more information.
How do these cuts affect your department?
Well, right now we don't know exactly what the cuts are going to be, but we do know we'll have larger class sizes next year. And other than that, it'd be speculation at this point. We do know an exact number for the high school, which is about $1.017 million or $1,017,000 will be cut at our site, but we don't know how it's going to affect our departments yet. Mr. Austin, our head principal, is out and is communicating with those staff members who are affected, and I'm sure there'll be communication between him and the student body as well as the public at large in the near future.
What is the staff's general feeling towards the budget cut?
Well, I think at this point the biggest issue that staff has is not knowing who's affected. Sometimes not knowing is more difficult than actually finding out whether or not you still have a position here at the high school. So in general, I would say people are apprehensive, and the sooner that information gets out, not just for teachers at the high school, but for teachers at the middle school or at Crossroads or at SFE or Cedar Creek or East Bethel, getting that information out will be best for everyone involved.
Stay tuned next week for an interview with Superintendent Troy Ferguson about more specifics on what will be happening to the district of ISD 15.
Tomorrow, on Thursday, February 22nd, the St. Francis Drug Awareness Group is hosting an event in the Performing Arts Center. Last Friday, SFHS held the annual 7AA Region Band Contest. We sent reporters Maggie Winkles, Katie Bjork to get more information.
I'd say we did really good as a group all together. We maybe messed up a few spots here and there, but I'd say we were pretty fire with how we did. And watching the other groups perform, it was pretty fun and different seeing what other schools do and how they play.
We had 3 pieces. We played Chaconne, Intermezzo, and March. I thought it went quite well. There were a few issues with intonation, but generally I think we did pretty well.
Today we played 3 songs. We started with rhythm dances, played Dark and Shadow, and then played Concerto Grosso. And I think that my favorite had to be rhythm dances.
I played Vesuvius in band, and Vesuvius is by Frank DeKelly, and I think the band as a whole did a pretty good job. Before we were struggling with taking risks, and I feel like today we took a risk and it really paid off.
In club news, Knowledge Bowl is up and competing. We spoke with some of the members earlier this month.
Even though I've left the high school, I have remained the head coach of our Knowledge Bowl program, which is doing quite well.
Knowledge Bowl is a sport where you compete against 2 other teams on general knowledge questions.
We have 3 strong 9th grade groups, 1 12th grade group, and 1.5 11th grade groups.
The last competition was here, and it went pretty well. We had a couple of teams scoring, I can't remember quite what it was. It was up in the top 10s, I think. It's a great way to spend time with your friends even. It's also really fun to go around to other schools and just see how it's like over there.
I would recommend Knowledgeable to anyone. You don't have to be super smart. You can just, it's about anything. There are questions about sports or whatever you want, video games, even pop culture, that type of stuff. So it's really for everyone, and it's a ton of fun.
Me specifically, I'm the speaker, which is the person who answers questions that are asked, and I specialize in history and geography.
Well, me, I study American history on my free time, so I'm the guy who knows about all the presidents, all the historical events, world wars, all that type of stuff.
The high school season, we're about midway through the season. We'll go to the end of February and just into early March.
Thanks. This week we have a senior spotlight on two seniors who started their own YouTube channel. Nadia LeBlanc and Corinne Meyer have started Bridgestreet Biddies, a behind-the-scenes look at show choir live.
Biddies, it's a YouTube channel that we created to kind of like show what we've been doing this year, because we have a lot of we had a lot of new changes, like.
So we have a new director, and so we thought it would be cool to like document what
kind of the process,
everything
how
was
everything's going and stuff.
I think most of the episodes are pretty funny, and I like the Bridgestreet Biddies because it connects our group at St. Francis to groups all across the country, and that's pretty cool.
Why did you create the Bridgestreet Biddies? I don't know. I feel like obviously at school, like show choir, just the arts in general, they're not really viewed as that's not a thing. Yeah, cool. But I kind of want to like. It's kind of just like a platform. I wanted people to see that we have fun, you know?
What's your favorite part of the YouTube videos?
The edits that Nadia does are hilarious. I love them.
Do something. Oh.
There's a lot of creative video editing kind of stuff that Nadia does. For example, the black and white, and then she makes all their voices be lower. And there's a lot of creative cutting and stuff like that. I think it's entertaining.
I think that it's brought a lot of joy and happiness kind of to everyone, and I've made more friends from it. We've met people.
We met a lot of people from different show choirs, and yeah, we're all excited for the new vlogs.
Yes, subscribe.
Everyone else should watch them because it'll for sure give you a laugh.
I'm Josiah Telshow, and I approve this message.
Before we go, we have a missing reporter. Can anyone tell us where Francessco Ferrari is?
What? You guys, I'm really busy. What?
So Francesco wandered off. We don't know where he is.
Francesco wandered off?
Again. Hey guys, what's up?
Where have you been?
Hawaii.
He was in Hawaii.
I told him all. I should told you guys.
Yeah, hey, welcome back.
The nerd section.
For you this week, Saints, stay safe.
Welcome back to Sports, Saints. I'm Casey Shields.
And I'm Willie Maffelter.
The girls hockey team lost in the first round of sections to Grand Rapids 5-1, meaning they will end the season on a loss. This will bring their final record to 13 wins and 12 losses.
Last Friday, girls hockey hosted a father-daughter hockey game. The girls hockey team again played against their dads at East Bethel Ice Arena.
What a fun idea for the end of the hockey season.
Boys hockey had a game last Tuesday against Anoka and lost 1-4.
They also played Legacy last Thursday, winning a score of 8-0. Great job, guys.
Senior night is boys hockey event to honor our seniors of our 2017-18 team.
What did the seniors bring to this year's team?
Definitely leadership is the first thing that comes to mind. Work ethic, drive to be successful, and the biggest thing is I know they really want to win hockey games, so they've brought attention to detail and being more focused to the program as well.
Did you enjoy your senior year, and what was your best memory?
Yeah, senior year was great, and I would say the out-of-town tournaments with the boys.
Pretty good, and probably all the out-of-town trips with the boys and making memories.
Senior year was really good. I enjoyed it, and my favorite memory was scoring my first varsity goal.
What are your plans beyond senior year?
Pursue hockey and see how far it takes me.
I have a couple offers to play junior hockey that I'm currently looking at, and I'm hoping to. Otherwise, I don't know where my other plans are yet.
What will the team look like next year with the missing seniors?
Next year, we have a lot of seniors, 9 seniors, 10 with senior manager as well, so there's a lot of spots that are going to need to be filled by underclassmen, but the seniors have done a great job of getting those younger guys ready, so they should be prepared for next season.
Girls basketball had a home game last Thursday against North Branch and won 76-61.
They also had a game last Thursday against Brainerd and lost 82-84.
Before we go, there's another winter sport that some of our students are beginning to enjoy. Nothing says Minnesota like ice fishing.
Reporters Montana Levi, Sam Globensky, and Jake Hansen talked to students about their fun they have on the ice.
The lake conditions are pretty good at the moment. It's February, so it's probably the coldest part of the year. It's probably 20 inches of ice out there, if not more. On the lakes around here up north, there's a lot more, almost close to 30. Well, the season's starting to wind down a little bit. You're supposed to have your ice house off on March 19th.
How's the fishing been this year?
It's been going pretty well. I got a little pitch counter I have. Every time I catch a fish, I click that sucker. And probably caught over 100 so far. Not doing too well this year. Last year, however, I caught over 700. Trying to beat that, but it's not going to happen this year.
That's all we have for you this week, Saints.